The coda hema is one of my new favorite primaries in Warframe. Let me talk about it. So the coda hema is a kind of machine gun that shoots bullets, but doesn't have a ammo capacity in the natural sense. Instead, it takes some of your life instead of ammo. So having equilibrium on your Warframe to keep your health maxed out is really nice to have when doing the coda hema. But that's not why I'm talking about it today. No. Today we're talking about the coda hema because they recently added a new mod for it. Let me go grab that. It is called Necrophagic Vigor. Basically, when you reload, it drains up to half your health, which is more health than it took previously, but this increases your critical chance and critical damage for 20% for every 20 health drained, which is huge actually. Obviously better on higher health Warframes like Inaros, but I find it nice and comfy on my Uriel because he's got a decent amount of health, and basically he's able to regen his health by using Remedium anytime he needs to. So in other words, he's very good at managing his health. Now how does this perform against enemies? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go summon a few. I'll do some heavy gunners, I guess. Oh, did I already summon enemies? Alright. I'm stupid then, I guess. Let's start shooting. The damage is nice, see? But now after I reload, the damage and critical chances are going to be supercharged. And it is absolutely amazing. So, what is the build I use for this amazing weapon? Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, let's go over the arcanes I have on my Warframe, because they do play a role. So we have Arcane Acceleration. On critical hit, there's a 30% chance to gain a 90% fire rate buff. Does not work on shotguns though, but that doesn't really apply here. And then we have Arcane Rage, which means on headshot, there's a 15% chance to get an additional 180% damage to your primary weapon for 24 seconds. That just helps our damage output really nicely. Now for the coda hema, we have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Serration for some base damage for the fringe cases in which I do not have base damage. And then Thermite Rounds for heated status chance, because my valence bonus on this coda hema is fire. Necrophagic Vigor, which we did just go over. Stabilizer, because the other mod, the ammo mutation mod, doesn't really have a place on this, so Stabilizer is a better option. Vile Acceleration, which gives us 90% fire rate buff, but loses us some damage. Then we have Vital Sense, which gives us another bunch of critical damage, which is nice on top of Necrophagic Vigor. Then we have Galvanized Scope. Basically, on a headshot, you get a bunch of critical chance, and on a headshot kill, you gain even more critical chance for a certain amount of time. Then we have Critical Delay, which basically, you lose a little bit of fire rate, but you gain a ton of critical chance. The flat critical chance on this is 60%. Now, we have a pet with us too. I named it after my IRL dog. God rest his soul. I miss you, Prescott. You were a good boy. In fact, anyone who's watching this, comment pets for Prescott in the comments below. I want the world to pet my dog. That would be fantastic. But basically, what I was going to talk about here is we have Reinforced Bond, which means if I have a certain amount of shields, then my fire rate's increased. And we also have Tenacious Bond. Basically, what that does is if my pet has a certain amount of critical chance, I gain a 1.2 final critical damage multiplier, which goes well with all that critical damage the coda hema is packing. So I think that's very nice. Now, we also have a Latum here, but I don't think we'll need it. We also have a Prismascana here. I don't think I'll need it. Also, I will be playing Soulframe one of these days, but I gotta wait till I can get it edited by an editor when I have money, because I want that to be a proper video, not just base VOD, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're gonna be using it on Uriel. The Archon Shards don't really do anything for this build. It could if I had some purple Archon Shards, but let's just be honest here. If I put electricity from Archon Shards on there, we would lose our heat bonus. So genuinely, purple Archon Shards they hurt the build more than it helps it. So that's why we're not using Volt today. Now, how does this work inside a mission? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go load one up. Alrighty, now we're loading up Draco on Ceres. Now, I'm gonna put this out there before I get my ass handed to me by an Acolyte. My gun game against Acolytes with non-AoE weapons is not great. So I might have my ass kicked to them, not because the weapon itself sucks, but because I can't aim to save my own life. Now let's see how this does against the enemies. Oh, okay, I like this, I like this. Now the crit damage is going to start packing up. You'll love to see it. We get orange crits for all of this. You'll love to see it. Not to mention with all those energy orbs dropping, we'll get a ton of health because of equilibrium. It's very nice. I do very much enjoy it. My doggo recovered because that's a good boy. Pat, pat for good boy. We love our good boy, our good dog. Dogs are the best thing in the world. Though one day I would like to adopt a cat. I would love to adopt a cat one of these days. Like, an old fat cat. Sure, he wouldn't be around for long because, you know, old fat cat. But, like, I would like to give them good final days, if you know what I mean. I would love to be like, yeah, this cat deserves a good end-of-life scenario since they spent so much of their time on the streets, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, the orange crits over here are doing absolute work. Not to mention we have like a reset button with Brimstone if we need to. Speaking of which, I was playing Uriel the other day on my huge range build. And basically, the game's just like, oh yeah, here's double ability, strength, and range. Have fun with that. I wish I got that on video, but like, it was hilarious. It was genuinely hilarious. And I'm gonna pop myself my Remedium to restore shields, because dear lord, shield gating is important. One thing I forgot to say about this build that makes it really nice is that we're mixing the innate viral on the coda hema with heat, which really increases the damage we will be doing. I really do enjoy it. Anyway, start shooting these fools. How dare they down my dog? That's not nice of them. How dare you down my dog? My poor little doggo. What did he ever do to you besides bite your shins and balls off? We're gonna ignore that for a second, actually. Anyway, continue shooting these guys. Something with Uriel I've noticed that other people I've noticed have not been talking about is that killing enemies, just in general with your gun, refills your Brimstone gauge, which I find very interesting. I find that very interesting that nobody talks about the fact that just regular killing enemies refills your Brimstone gauge. Like, why do no builds I see, build videos or like guide videos for Uriel talk about that? Like, even if you don't use his abilities to just go running and gunning, it still slowly fills after you kill a bunch of enemies. So I don't know why nobody's talking about that. Anyway, destroy that man on the leash. But yeah, this is genuinely one of my favorite primaries right now that have nothing to do with AoE. Though to be fair, Kuva Brahma did get nerfed all the way to hell and back. I still have it laying in my arsenal just like, I don't really want to use you, you kinda suck. You know what I mean? But one of these days I'll make a Kuva Brahma build. One of these days. I'm gonna pop this, shoot the Jade Eximate. Well, I just got stuck there. That wasn't... I didn't see those guys behind me. That's on me. That's completely on me. I was focusing too hard on the Eximus units. That was completely on me. Thank God for my Lich just like popping and freezing everyone. She's like, freeze, criminal scum! And like, I'm not criminal scum, I just murdered people. Oh! And then they realize they are, in fact, criminal scum. Anyway, Mr. Acolyte's gonna show up shortly. You have lost your way, Tenno. Let me help you find... How about you go fuck yourself? See, my gunplay is not the best. But then again, this isn't a video about gunplay. It's a video about how I enjoy this weapon. So to be fair, it's fine if I die a few times.
Another life support capsule.
Though the Cerberus comes in a close second. I will have a Cerberus Prime video one of these days soon. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be very nice. Now the timer's gonna be up shortly, and then we can end it. Seriously, make me use Remedium again. Go fuck yourself. Alright, let's get out of the mission, then we'll do my outro.